I've been collecting niche fragrances for over 20 plus years. So today I'm gonna give you my no BS niche fragrance tier list. In this list, I'm gonna give you at least 23 brands, and most of these I own at least 5 of them, or some of them I own at least up to 20. So which one will make the S tier, which means superlative or super or outstanding? And come to think of it, I wonder, do I have any F tiers? If you want to find out, stick around, let's get it. Hello guys, welcome back. I'm Max for those who are new to the channel. And the first niche brand we're going to start off with is Clive Christian. Now I own about 5 of these fragrances, and the most popular one that they have is maybe Blonde Amber, but my favorite would be Jump Up and Kiss Me. They're kind of pricey, but to be honest with you, they make some outstanding to great fragrances, and the quality is also top notch. So for that alone, I'm going to have to get this, to start this off with the bang, we're going to put this in the S tier as far as Clive Christians. The next brand up is the House of Creed. Now, Creed do have a lot of Creed enthusiasts, and to be honest with you, Creed is the pioneer of fragrances. A lot of their fragrances, such as Green Irish Tweed, was created by Creed. People copied. Silver Mountain Water was created by Creed. People copied. Aventus was one that was copied. Now, their most popular fragrances depend on what time frame you're in. In the days it was Green Irish Tweed. Now it seems to be Aventus. But my favorite from the line is one that's actually discontinued, and that is Green Valley. And you look up these now, and the last time I checked, a bottle of Green Valley was going for $3,000. But they get high marks for being the pioneer of fragrances, but even Creed enthusiasts will understand this logic. The thing about Creed, when I first got into them, I ordered Green Irish Tweed. Now, the first one I ordered was muted. The second one I ordered was too sweet, and it didn't last long. And I finally found the one that I was satisfied with, which was more manly. So even the enthusiasts could understand the reason why I would put this in this tier. And my favorite is, like I said, Green Valley, but this would definitely have to go into the B tier, only because of the batch variations and the longevity and performance for the price that you pay. The next house up is the House of Amouage, and I owned about 4 of these, and at the time I just stopped purchasing. Now, they're very pricey for the size that you get, and to me they're definitely very artistic, nothing special about it. So for that alone, I might have to throw this in the D tier. I found nothing that I like. Next up is the House of Xerjoff. Now, they have a lot of popular fragrances, but the one that I love is called Alexander III Oriental. Now, they make some good to great fragrances. Most of the fragrances that I own are great. Some quality ingredients from what I can tell. Xerjoff gonna have to definitely go into the S tier. Next fragrance up is Bond Number 9. Now, I own about 8 of these. I smelled dozens more. They have a lot of popular fragrances, but my favorite is Riverside. I think it's probably discontinued now, but very lovely fragrance. But they make good fragrances, nothing outstanding. So definitely, I would probably put them in a C tier. Now, the other Xerjoff is Cosmopolitan line, and I own about 6 of these, and my favorite is definitely 1888. Still, this line is also quality, but some of them I find good to great. But for this line, I'm gonna definitely put this in the A tier. I don't think they're as great as the other line, but they definitely make some quality fragrances. I'm definitely gonna put these in the A tier. Next fragrance brand is the House of Lutens. I own 3 of these. I smelled many more. I had one and I sold it. Kind of regret it. But definitely some quality fragrances, although they cost pretty healthy, but you get a nice size for what you get. And this is definitely close to being an S tier line. So I'm gonna definitely throw this in the A tier because of the quality, the smell, great brand that no one talks about. Next niche fragrance brand is the House of Amouage. Now, they have a couple of popular fragrances from what I can tell, Whetstone. But my favorite are from the black bottle line. The white bottle lines to me are overrated. I didn't find anything that I like. I own about 6 of these, and my favorite is Golden Oud. Makes some quality fragrances in the black bottle, but the white bottles are too much of a designer for me. The white bottles are overrated, the black bottles are good. So we're gonna go average on this, and we're gonna definitely throw this house into the C tier. Next fragrance brand up is from the House of Amarino. And a lot of people are sleeping on this fragrance, although they're pretty much discontinued. They make some quality unique fragrances that most of their fragrances don't smell like anything else out there. And the quality is good, very unique. The bottle is lovely, and I'm definitely gonna throw this in the A tier. My favorite from the line is definitely Essence, and I can't really tell you if there are any popular ones from this line because I'm just getting into the line. I haven't really heard anything about it, but definitely a brand you're sleeping on. Definitely an A tier. Next niche fragrance brand is from the house of Diptyque. They have a lot of popular fragrances. I own 3 of them, smelled many more, and some that I really want to go back and get. Most of their fragrances that's popular are kind of old, but my favorite from the line is definitely Eau Capitale. And this kind of a A+ or B- tier, but I think the quality is really great, so I'm definitely going to throw them in the A tier. Now, the next niche fragrance brand up is Serge Lutens. Now, if I were doing a tier list maybe 10, 15 years ago, this definitely would be an A tier. But for quite a while, a lot of niche companies are pretty much being equal to them or either passing them. My favorite from the line is definitely 5 o'clock Ombre, but I'm definitely going to put this in maybe, it's between the C+ tier and the B- tier. I go B tier for this. Serge Lutens gets a B tier for me. Next brand up is the house of Mancera. And a lot of their popular fragrances are Cedre Bois, Instant Crush. But my favorite from the line is definitely Oud Lemon Mint. I own about 15, maybe 20 of these. They make some quality fragrances, but a lot of them are very safe. But some of them are unique, but they copy some other houses. But for the quality alone, the uniqueness alone, and the price that you pay, this definitely gonna get, I give it an A tier. Next brand up is actually a part of Mancera, which is Montale. And a long time ago, this really got me into niche fragrances. Some of their fragrances have like the same base. Now, this is a company that pretty much a pioneer on most of their fragrances. Most of their fragrances are not cloned. They're not as great as their sister brand, which is Mancera. So I'm gonna give Montale definitely a B tier. They make some good fragrances, and they are cost efficient also. So B tier for Montale. Next brand up is from the house of Amouage. Now, their most popular fragrance is maybe Reflection, but my favorite is definitely Jubilation 25. The women fragrances are also nice. The men fragrances are great. And this is definitely, with the quality that they make, this is definitely going in the S tier. Not many companies try to copy Amouage, maybe some clone houses, but this definitely is an S tier brand. Lovely fragrances, great quality. Next brand up is from the house of Electimus. Quality is there. They make some pretty good fragrances. They also have a stinker that I bought, and I don't know what they was thinking about when they made that fragrance. Great quality, kind of pricey. So me personally, I'm gonna throw Electimus in the C tier. Up next is from the house of Oud. I own about 6 of these fragrances. Smelled many more. My favorite from the line is definitely Golden Powder. The quality is there. The presentation is definitely a S tier. But the fragrance itself, I'm gonna throw this into maybe, I throw this in a B+ tier. It's not quite A tier, but it's close to being an A tier fragrance line. But the B tier is probably fitting for this fragrance brand. Next fragrance brand is Nolifer. Now, I ran deep into this fragrance house. I think I own about 10 of these fragrances. I got the samples of many more. And this is a slept-on fragrance brand. Great quality. And the thing about this fragrance house, none of their fragrances are overpriced. They're probably around the $150 mark. And they definitely make some quality fragrances that smell great, and it's close to being an S tier fragrance. I'm definitely gonna throw this in the A tier because a lot of their fragrances are good to great. They definitely make some nice fragrances. So A tier for the house of Nolifer. Next brand up is actually their high-end fragrances, and that is Salvatore Ferragamo, and the quality is there. Nice presentation. My favorite from the line is La Comedia, and they make some really good fragrances. Not quite the S tier, but I definitely would throw these in the kind of close to the B+ tier or the A- tier, but it's a hard decision. I'm gonna throw this in the B tier. Really close to being an A tier fragrance line, but B tier probably fit them well. Next fragrance line is Histories de Parfum. I own about 8 of these fragrances. And my favorite from the line is one that get low rating, but I love it. Compliment Getting Fragrance. Not Another Blue, 1.1. Pretty much all their fragrances are good. Nothing outstanding. Histories de Parfum in the B plus tier, so I'm gonna say B tier. Before we go over the last 3 brands, I'm gonna do an under $100 tier list, which could be a lot of Middle Eastern brands, but I didn't want to single out to Middle East. So if that sounds like something you probably would like also, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get to the last 3 fragrances. Now the last 3 fragrances, I don't own any for various reasons, but I tested and smelled a lot of them. And the first one is Spirit of King. Now I went to this Atlanta shop, smelled all their fragrances, and I loved a lot of their fragrances. I haven't got around to buying them yet, but since I haven't tested them, they don't go to the S tier, but I think they definitely go to the A tier list. Another brand is Mind Games. I smelled a lot of their fragrances, and they make a lot of good fragrances, but to me, kind of overpriced for what you're getting. So definitely, I'm gonna throw them in the B tier. And the last one on this list, and I made it last for a reason, because I think it's gonna be very controversial, and that's Perfume de Marly. I tested probably 6 or 7 of their fragrances, smelled others. Now their best from the line is definitely Delina, which is the latest fragrance. And they have a lot of popular fragrances, but it seems like to me, lately they haven't really came up with nothing just creative. I mentioned Creed in the top of the fragrance list as being a pioneer of fragrances. This is one of these companies that take other popular brands, make them a little different, and make their own creation. So that kind of throws me off a little bit. So definitely, I know this is going to be controversial, but it's my opinion. Perfume de Marly definitely goes in the C tier for me. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Peace.